What is happening? Welcome back to the channel. Yeah, so today we're going to be getting back to work on this here TPS sensor. So since this is a new video, I'm going to go ahead and show you what you need to do to test your TPS sensor. Let's make sure that you have your multimeter set to the right setting. The bottom V right there with the little squiggle is an AC, and then this one with the flat dash and 3 dots under it is going to be my DC. The second thing you're going to want to do is go ahead and turn on your car to the second setting, and then 2 clicks. Now you're going to have your ground attached to the battery. Some people say that it's better to have it attached to the actual like car for some reason, but I'm going to go ahead and keep it attached to the battery, and then I'll show you right here what I'm working with. And you're testing the center wire on your plug here. Most applications for Hondas is going to be a red wire, but you know, people like myself have changed out their plugs over time from them breaking or getting bad, and so as long as you remember it's the middle wire, then you should be good to go. Alright, so I have it on the center wire back there, and I'm reading 254 millivolts, which is not what you want. So I can safely assume, but also you also want to test the open throttle. So let's see if I can get this done with one hand here. So when it's wide open, you actually want it to be 4.5 volts. Yeah, so you want, when it's closed, you want it to be like 5 volt or half a volt, and then when it's wide open, you want it to be 4.5. Next thing you want to do is go ahead and start to remove your throttle body. So let's get that done. Just like that, we got the throttle body back out the car, and the first thing you're going to notice is whether or not it's going to be a pain in the you-know-what to remove the sensor, because as you can tell, there is no screw, there's no hexagonal bit, there's nothing here, it's just riveted on. So what I've seen a lot of people say is basically you can cut a slit into it and get it out with like a flathead screwdriver. You cut 2 in there, get it with a Phillips head. Oh yeah, and it's probably a good measure to maybe just tape everything off with painter's tape, just to be safe. That way you don't get any like metal shavings in your throttle body. A little something like that. Alright, so just use a cutting disc, and just kind of committed, and just because the thing about it is, if you hesitate when you're doing this, you're going to end up just going all over the place and shaving it down, and you don't have that much metal to lose. So I'm going to go ahead and try to pop these off with a flathead. So I just went ahead and held it upside down and kind of had a sponge pad and just sanded down all the leftover gasket as much as I could, and then I just cleared out the inside of this with a brake cleaner, and I made sure I was spinning the throttle as I was doing that, and it actually kind of loosened up this part of my throttle body that was sticking a little bit. So if anyone else is having problems with stuff like that, maybe try that out. I don't know. But yeah, so you just want to make sure that your TPS sensor, when you put it in, that little male part right there is going into the female end on right there. So go ahead and get your gasket on there and your hardware. So because it is spring loaded, you're gonna need to kind of like, for lack of better words, like prime it. So if I let go, it'll spin back. So you're gonna actually need to spin it against the pressure of the spring on the inside of the sensor. Alright, and then I think you can just get away with having it off to the side like this until you get the right reading out of your multimeter. So I'm going to leave this middle wire exposed. Get your car turned back to the second click. Now we can test the voltage on it at dead stop. Still giving us a pretty bad reading. Actually, no, that's closer. That's 0.2 volts. so it's not in multi or millivolts anymore. So I'm gonna go ahead and spin this thermostat, this TPS sensor. So at my current setting, I am at 4.5, which is pretty close, but let's see if we can get a little closer. I'm gonna turn it. Alright, so I'm seeing other things saying it's a half a volt. I forgot about that from last night. Let's see where I'm at right now after messing with it again. 4.5. I'll get closer to the 5 and then tighten it up, and then we're going to do a wide open throttle. I think that's as close as I'm going to get it to a flat half volt. So I'm going to tighten it up right there. Alright, I got it all tightened back up. Let's double check the number here, and it's gone. Check it again. This is as good as it's gonna get. Alright, everything is completely tightened up again. Trying to be perfectionist here. This is gonna be hard to record, so let me see if I can get this camera rigged up again. So wide open, it's still, well, I mean, it's like pretty much there. I think that should be okay. I'm gonna adjust it just a little bit more. Well, there's wide open right there. Alright, 4.51 to 4.48. Alright, I got it readjusted one last time. I mean, that's as good as it's gonna get right there. So that's the closed throttle. And then this should be wide open. 4.5.4. So hopefully that works out. And then you just put everything back together, I guess. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Boom, just like that. We're all back together again. Something I've noticed that not a lot of videos on the internet have gone into is after you reconnect the throttle body, you are actually still going to need to make sure that your throttle cable is giving off the right signal, and that's because your throttle cable will obviously adjust the current position of the throttle body. So you see right there, I got a pretty solid number there. Here's where it's at after I tighten it back down. See, we're too high. So I need to loosen this cable back up until it goes back down to half a volt. Let's try this. Almost perfect. I'm gonna loosen it just a little bit more. And just for like anyone out there being like, oh, he's doing too much. If I'm doing too much, I'm doing too much, but it's my car. You know what I mean? So I'm tired of not doing things right. This is where it's at, fully tightened down. Alright, that looks pretty good to set up the camera like that. Oh, looks like it went back up a little bit. Because the thing you want to remember is when you tighten it down with wrenches, that's the only time that this thing is fully tightened down. So I'm going to go ahead and loosen it a little bit, see if I can get the number down. Alright, one more go. I'm just going to do it from right here. 4.52. I'm on the low end, rounding down at full throttle at 4.5 volts. So, and then it goes back up a little bit when. So that's kind of, maybe that's something I'm going to need to work on with the throttle cable, but that's within, I would assume, acceptable range. I'm going to go ahead and give the car a start and see if my check engine light goes away. This is me trying to respect my neighbors a little bit. Just kind of zip tied a extension of the pipe with the cloth over it. Alright. better yet, let's see if we don't have any idle surges. So no check engine light yet. It'll probably come back on if it's going to when I actually drive the car and put it under load. You can read, I'm at half a volt and some change with it on. I'm gonna say that's a W. So that's gonna do it for this video, you guys. All that's really left is to do a test run, fill the car up with gas, especially now that the gas prices are low again. Yeah, I'm pretty stoked. I mean, that should take care of my last check engine light. And then, you know, the only thing I have to really figure out is just why the idle is like at like 2,000. I've been talking to a lot of people that have been doing the similar swaps in their EF chassis car, and like they all kind of have the same story. Like everyone's got a problem, and you know, knocking out that sensor right there. Hopefully it's a good one. Hopefully that sensor's not faulty or whatever, and it lasts a long time. But that's what you got to do with these cars, man. Like everything on this car would be like, you know, over 20 years old. So it's just like, what do you expect, you know? And honestly, I might get some flack for saying this from my you know, like 50 viewers, people that actually watch these videos. I don't know, like the more I work on this car, the more I really enjoy my Nissan Leaf, and how there's just nothing. I don't have to worry about any of this shit. It's just great. It's just instant power to the floor. It's not a lot of power. I mean, off the line, yeah, sure, whatever. It gets up and goes. Like, I have no problem competing with traffic, but it's just like, I don't know. Maybe I'm getting old. And I hate to say it, but after I swap the other car with that motor over there, there might be some changes to this channel. And that's fine. Change is fine. Well, that's where I'm going to end this video, you guys. Peace out. One more thing before I end this video. I need to shout out Fox Designs, etc. They're the ones who made, well, he's the one who made the shift knob and these really cool inserts for the dash. I got them rosed, like a rose finish, because I was gonna try to re-dip this steering wheel in rose gold, but nobody's trying to help me out with that. Like, nobody's trying to do it. So I figured I'd just show this off really quick because I really like them. I have never installed them ever, so it's really cool to just kind of get them tossed in there for once, and it really brings the interior together, I think. So shout out to you, bro. Thanks a lot. Peace out, everyone.